Over the past 3 years, we have faced one of the greatest challenges of our lifetime, the COVID-19 pandemic. When the pandemic first started, we took early action to protect tenants by establishing an eviction moratorium. This has been in place since March of 2020, when the first cases of COVID-19 were reported in the City of Berkeley. And during this time, the only way that someone could be evicted was to stop an imminent threat to the health and safety of other occupants. We also significantly expanded our housing retention program, providing grants to hundreds of households who had fallen behind on their rent. Despite these actions, it is undeniable that the last 3 years have been a challenging time for many tenants and landlords in our community who have faced unprecedented hardships when our daily lives were turned upside down by the pandemic. The inability to pay rent can cause increased stress to all parties involved during a time when stress levels are already elevated. Thanks to the sacrifices that we have all made and our efforts to not just socially distance, shelter in place, get vaccinated, follow science, we are now in a position where we can roll back many of the policies that were implemented as a result of the COVID emergency. This means that changes are on the way to our eviction moratorium. Specifically, a transition period will begin this Monday, May 1st, 2023. During this time, tenants can be evicted for non-payment of rent that is due beginning May 1st, 2023, unless they provide documentation showing that it was due to a COVID-related covered reason. Tenants will only have 3 days to provide this documentation to property owners to establish a covered reason when a 3-day notice is served. So it's important that tenants act immediately in providing this documentation to their property owners. Additionally, property owners can initiate an owner move-in eviction if they own one rental property in the City of Berkeley. Evictions to stop an imminent threat to the health and safety of occupants at the property will also continue to be allowed as they've been allowed throughout the pandemic. No other types of evictions can take place during this transition period. This transition period will last through August 31st, 2023. So starting September 1st, 2023, all just cause evictions can resume in Berkeley. This transition period provides a clear timeline that tenants and property owners can use, not just to establish rent repayment plans to ensure that tenants can get back on their rent, but also to ensure that everyone is aware of what their rights are during this transition period. You may qualify for rent assistance through our housing retention program if you are behind on your rent. You can apply by calling the Eviction Defense Center at 510-452-4541. Households across Berkeley are also soon receiving a letter from the Berkeley Rent Board with information about these changes. If you have any questions about changes to the city's eviction moratorium, we encourage you to call the Rent Board at 510-981-7368. Additional details can also be found on the Rent Board's website, rentboard, all one word, .berkeleyca, all one word, .gov. Thank you.